Still screaming at each other over Epstein list bullshit and over Super Bowl bullshit. Still screaming and hating over that. We're not going to talk about the Mexican drones that shut down Texas airspace. Now we're going to keep screaming at each other. Let's see if I can even find it. Let's see what comes up here. Yeah, so this happened yesterday. Got an AP News article. Entire screen share. So here we got from the AP. Pentagon, FAA dispute over lasers to thwart cartel drones led to airspace closure, AP sources say. That's interesting. Sudden and surprising airspace closure over El Paso stemmed from the Pentagon's plans to test a laser for use in shooting down drones used by Mexican drug cartels. According to three people familiar with the situation, who were granted anonymity. I always want to say anonymity. My brain just does not understand the word anonymity. Um, we're not talking about this one though. Nobody's talking about Texas airspace being shut down. And I like how they're like, no. We were testing lasers. No, you weren't. No, you fucking weren't. Here we have from Newsweek. White House issues update on El Paso airspace closure. White House blamed drone activity from Mexican drug cartels for the sudden closure of U.S. airspace over El Paso, Texas on Wednesday morning. In a statement to Newsweek, the White House said Mexican cartel drones breached U.S. airspace. The Department of War took action to disable the drones. The FAA and DOW, Department of War, have determined there is no threat to commercial travel. Okay, look. We can't even get the truth on something like this. It's like you got two options here. Option one is Mexico invaded the United States airspace, and we need to have a conversation with Mexico at the very least. If not, maybe do something about that. Or, alternatively, we were just debating whether or not we were going to use a laser to potentially take down drones if they end up in the airspace. I don't know about you, but I don't believe that for a minute. I do believe, however, there were Mexican drones in the airspace. That makes sense. Also, why would we shut down the airspace if we were considering using a laser to shoot down a drone? That doesn't make any sense to me. It makes it's Texas. Do you know how many rednecks have shotguns and they're just ready to go? Do you know how many people would be like, "Oh yeah, I'll shoot that drone down in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I gotta walk to my truck. Get my shotgun. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back." You don't need no damn laser to shoot down a drone in Texas. Are you on drugs? What are you, retarded? I mean, Florida's the gunshine state, but Texas's motto is literally "Don't mess with Texas." Their motto is "No step, motherfucker. No step on Sneck. Sneck will get angry and bite you." That's the Texas motto. But idiots be idiots. So I don't know. I guess we'll keep screaming at each other over Bad Bunny and Kid Rock, and we'll keep arguing about that. Because why would we argue about things that matter when we could, why would we talk? Are they lying to us? Listen, this whole Epstein thing has got me. This client list thing, right? I wasn't someone who believes the government all the time before any of this stuff happened. I was always a kind of ask questions. Trust but verify. I don't necessarily believe you because you guys are real shady. But I'm not going to disbelieve you unless I find a reason to. And then I found a reason to for every legitimate thing that has happened since my father was born. Everything that happened, my father was born in 1962. 63, JFK was assassinated. And Martin Luther King, then the Gulf of Tonkin, then What came after the Gulf of Tonkin? 9/11. In between in between Nam and 9/11 was the invasion of Iraq, the petrodollar warfare. Um, then we had 9/11. Then we had 20 years of the global war on terror. Then we had, just false flag after false flag. And if you go back prior to my father being born, we knew about the attack on Pearl Harbor. We knew that it was highly likely there was going to be an attack, and nobody said anything. We knew that the probability of an attack on Pearl Harbor was insanely high. We knew that there were ships positioning in what looked like a posture for an attack, and we said nothing to anybody. They knew this was going to happen, and they wanted it to happen because they wanted in on that sweet, sweet war money. Time and time again, we've watched. And like, there's theories that we have false flagged ourselves into every major conflict that we've been involved in, going all the way back to World War One, even the Spanish American War. They believe that we false flagged our way into that. Like, that was going good until we false flagged it. We have a history of false flags in this country. We have a history of lying to the public in this country. And I think it's not unreasonable to say, you told us it was drones, and then you told us it was considerations to use a laser to shoot down drones. So were there drones in the airspace, or were you just debating using a laser to shoot down drones that didn't exist? Because now you're telling me, no, there weren't drones. We were just talking about using a laser, so we shut down the airspace. I don't know about you, but I don't go block the road off to make a phone call, right? I don't block my street. I don't park my car across the road and then call my dad to bullshit for 20 minutes. That seems like an unreasonable thing to do. It would make a lot more sense that there were drones. There were drones. Texas is right next to Mexico. The Mexican cartels have been smuggling things into the United States using drones for a long time. Wouldn't it just make sense that they just like went a little farther than normal and they shut down the airspace? I don't know. Call me a conspiracy theorist, I guess. You want to get into conspiracy theories? Let's talk about Tower 7. Let's talk about how the passports survived. We can get into conspiracy theories all day. I mean, I love conspiracy theories. But, we're just going to sit here and argue about Epstein. We're going to sit here and argue about Bad Bunny and Kid Rock. We're just going to argue about the shit that we don't have any control over and we never will. Because why would we argue about anything that matters when we can argue about the stupid shit? I mean, obviously, the stupid shit's worth arguing over. Obviously. I mean, have you seen a Kid Rock concert? Have you listened to Bad Bunny? What a moron! What a moron! Oh, by the way, Erica Kirk killed Charlie. Oh yeah, let's not forget to argue about that some more. Oh, by the way, the CIA did everything that's ever happened. Let's not forget to argue about that. But let's not ask questions about what's actually going on. I don't know. It would make sense to me that if they abruptly said, hey, ground all the planes, one of two things has happened. President's coming in, or there's a threat in the airspace. Whether it's a UFO, and by UFO I don't mean necessarily aliens. I mean, it could be a drone, it could be aliens, it could be fucking whatever. Could just be a fucking kite, but they picked something up on radar and they were like, hey, what's that? I don't know, try to get a hold of them. Oh, we can't get a hold of them. Well, let's shut down the airspace because we can't get a hold of this, whatever it is, we can't get a hold of it. So let's shut down the airspace until we can get a hold of them or until we can assess what this is. Because you don't want to be sending up planes when there's an aircraft that you can't get a hold of. It's just kind of common sense. But we'll argue about Bad Bunny. That seems to be a good use of our time. Let's argue about a Hispanic pop star. I mean, come on. What's really important here, people? What's really important? The Epstein list? No, let's argue about Bad Bunny and Kid Rock. Let's argue about them. We're not going to argue about the Epstein stuff. Here's the real truth. The truth of the matter is Trump hung himself with the Epstein list. Trump said, Oh, it's no big deal. It's a hoax. It's nothing. It's nonsense. It's bullshit. Stop looking. There's nothing to see here, folks. Which made people look even harder. Now, because of the stop looking, stop looking, stop looking, and then, all right, here you can look, Trump has hung himself politically. Trump has made himself look a fool. Now, anything that happens is going to make the Trump administration look foolish. Pam Bondi, from day one, I said was an awful choice. Kash Patel, I had hope for Kash. Bongino left for a reason. Okay? You really think Bongino wasn't looking at his paychecks and going, dude, I have the #1 podcast on Rumble and I'm doing this? I'm going back to making my $1 million a video or whatever the fuck he makes, some exuberant number. I mean, Dan Bongino makes a killing on Rumble. That dude is making money. He's doing it right. And he has one of the best shows on Rumble, I will say. Dan Bongino has a great show. But ever since Dan did his little stint as the FBI assistant director, I don't trust Dan anymore. I used to trust Dan Bongino. I used to think, yeah, Dan Bongino is a trustworthy name. But now I'm like, I don't know. Is he? Is Dan Bongino trustworthy, or is he just booty cheeks? Is he just another swamp creature? Because I don't know what happened while he was in the FBI. I also think that the people that were like, Dan Bongino's a podcaster, why is he deputy director of the FBI? You're disingenuous as shit, because Dan Bongino was also a Secret Service agent for Obama. Like, Dan Bongino is a lot more than a podcaster. He was a cop in New York. I mean, Dan Bongino's done a lot more than podcasting. I mean, he's a pretty qualified guy for the position, so that always drove me nuts. And I think Bongino probably should have been the director, not the deputy director. I think Kash Patel would have been a better deputy director. I don't trust Kash Patel. I don't. I have a hard time trusting him. And I used to like, oh, well, you know, he's kind of a weird dude, so maybe that's why I don't trust him, is he's kind of a weird dude, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But now I'm just like, I don't trust you, and I don't trust Dan anymore because of Epstein killed himself. I saw the files. He killed himself. And it's like, I don't think he did. And now there's pictures of that dude floating around in Israel. We got people like Mike Glover talking about Epstein being in bed with Mossad because Ghislaine Maxwell's father was either a Mossad agent or a Mossad asset. So it's believed that Ghislaine was involved with Mossad as well. And Ghislaine got Epstein involved with Mossad, and that makes sense. I mean, and again, I'm not one of the, oh, you wear a little hat so you run the world kind of people. I'm just like, it makes sense that if I had your father, I'm going to be able to get you very easily because I'm going to say, here's the dirt I have on your father. Either we tarnish your father's good name or you work with us and this goes away. And then if you're working with, say, Ghislaine's working with Mossad, now she's doing her thing with Jeffrey Epstein, and they're like, well, we kind of want him in on this too because we can use him. And what's she going to do? No, I'm not getting him involved. Oh, well, then we're just going to put out all the stuff we have on your father. Like, I'm not saying Mossad is some genius organization. I'm saying they're blackmailing the people that work for them, which I don't doubt. I wouldn't be surprised to hear the CIA does the same shit. That's what I would do. Rude. Should know I'm doing a video. You should know I'm podcasting and not text me. What an ignorant bastard my nephew is. I'm teasing. I digress, though. This whole thing has just been stupid. And we're arguing about nonsense. And we're not paying attention to the bigger picture here. If these drones that shut down this airspace came from Mexico, that's an invasion. That's war. It could be serious. This could have serious repercussions. And it's kind of being swept under the rug. Like, there could be serious consequences to this. And it's just kind of getting swept under the rug. I don't know if Mexico's dumb enough to attack us. I mean, I doubt it. Especially when you look at, like, probably, like, the bordering states' National Guards are probably more powerful than Mexico's entire military. Like, we wouldn't even have to deploy the military it would just be like the National Guard from each state on the border would just like, all right, we got this. Like, you guys can go home, Marine Corps. We don't need you. This is legwork. This is an easy day. We'll be done in like 15 minutes. Because that's literally how it went last time. Like, the war took like 15 minutes. And then we gave half of Mexico back, which why did we do that? We should have just kept it all. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know. I just have a lot of questions that aren't being answered. And then I see stuff like this and I'm like, I can't trust you on anything. I cannot trust the government on anything. There's nothing they can do or say that I can believe them. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know. I really don't. I hope things get better because this is stupid. I love my hair. I need a haircut. But it's cold, so I don't want to cut my hair. I don't like cutting my hair in the cold. Hey, you get what you get, bro. Okay, you get what you get. You can have, you can have a podcast host with nice hair, or you can have a podcast host that's right. I guess I'll be the one that's right. It's gonna be so funny when this comes out in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, yeah, I was wrong about all that. Actually, the Epstein list doesn't exist, and Dan Bongino was the best for the deputy director position. I'm just gonna be eating every word I say. I'm going to be like, Pam Bondi actually is a genius. Those words will never come out of my mouth again. That woman is the definition of mentally retarded. I don't have anything good to say about Pam Bondi. She's a moron. I don't know. I just feel like there's a whole lot of distraction going on right now. And what's actually happening is the real question. What's actually going on? Who's making money right now? Anytime there's a bunch of shit like this going on, I'm like, who's making money right now? Like, remember during COVID, Big Pharma made a killing. It's like, who's making money right now? Because they're the ones that are up to something. Who's making money? Hey, probably just CNN. Probably just CNN making money right now. I'm not making money. I don't know. I just wanted to chit chat about this for a minute. It just like popped into my head when I saw this article that, we were kind of technically invaded by Mexico. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just keep screaming at each other about the Epstein list, though, because your blue team's a pedophile. No, red team's pedophiles. No, blue team's pedophiles. No, red team's pedophiles. Hey, moron. They're both pedophiles, and they're on the same team. Blue team and red team are the same team. It's purple team, and purple team is all pedophiles. There you go. Bye. Have a good one. I don't know what to tell you. They're all fucking pedos. If you like this, share it around with your friends. I'm trying to grow the podcast here. I'm tired of backing the right. And the right seems to do nothing. Here's the thing: is I voted for Trump, and then Trump didn't do the thing. Now I'm getting pissed because I voted for you and you didn't do the thing. And maybe this is first time voter. Yeah. Maybe this is just how it feels to vote in this country. But I'm real annoyed that the left has all this organization and the left does all this work to accomplish a goal, and we sit here and squabble with each other about stupid shit. We are the most unorganized retards on the planet. That's all I got. See y'all next time.